To understand the present fascination, we must first journey back through Leonardo DiCaprio's romantic history, a saga that has captivated the public eye for decades. It's a path littered with beautiful women who all shared one very specific and seemingly temporary characteristic. They were all under 25 years of age, a detail that hasn't gone unnoticed.
This isn't just about one man's dating habits, it's a phenomenon that has sparked countless discussions and debates. It's a cultural Rorschach test. Some see a harmless quirk, a personal preference with no deeper meaning. Others view it as a troubling reflection of society's obsession with youth and fleeting beauty standards.
Each new girlfriend seems to reset a clock, reinforcing the narrative and fueling the speculation. It's a countdown timer that the public now watches with morbid fascination, wondering when or if the pattern will ever break.
The question isn't just whether he adheres to this self-imposed rule, but why we care so much about the romantic choices of a celebrity.
It's a pattern so consistent it feels less like a coincidence and more like a law of nature, a gravitational pull he exerts on the world of supermodels and ingenues, drawing them into his orbit.
The so-called Leonardo DiCaprio 25 rule has become one of celebrity culture's most enduring and talked about debates, a topic that refuses to fade away. The premise, DiCaprio, now 50, seems to exclusively date women who are consistently under 26 years old.
Is it merely an urban legend? A story whispered across the internet and amplified by social media, like a modern-day ghost story? Or is it a hard, cold statistical truth, as unyielding and chilling as an iceberg lurking in the North Atlantic?
This timeline isn't just a list of names and dates. It's a window into a very specific corner of celebrity culture. It's a narrative of arrested development, at least in the public's imagination, a story that seems to repeat itself with each passing year.
The actor evolved professionally, constantly taking on new and challenging roles, pushing the boundaries of his craft. But his romantic life seemed frozen in time, a recurring theme that has become a subject of much discussion and, at times, amusement.
Each new girlfriend was another test case, another data point in a long-running experiment observed by the entire world. And each breakup at or before the age of 25 was another confirmation of the internet's favorite conspiracy theory, fueling countless memes and online debates.
The consistency is what makes it so compelling, the unwavering adherence to a particular type, and for many so unsettling, raising questions about societal expectations and power dynamics.
The pattern was clear, a trend that became increasingly difficult to ignore. As DiCaprio aged, his partners remained in their early 20s, creating a widening age gap that drew considerable attention.
Then came a string of high-profile flings, relationships that were closely watched and widely publicized. Blake Lively at 24, a brief but memorable chapter. Erin Heatherton at 23, another model in the spotlight. Tony Garn at 22, continuing the trend. Kelly Rohrbach at 25.
Next came Bar Raffaele, a relationship that garnered significant media attention. An on-again, off-again relationship from 2005 to 2011, marked by both public appearances and private moments. She was 25 when they split, adding another layer to the ongoing narrative.
When they parted ways, Giselle was just 23, a pivotal moment in both of their lives. DiCaprio was turning 30, and a noticeable age gap had begun to form, becoming a talking point in the media.
Early relationships with models like Kristen Zhang and Bridget Hall, during his early years of fame, set a precedent, establishing a pattern that would become increasingly apparent over time. But it was his 5-year romance with Gisele Bündchen that truly established the template, solidifying the public's perception.
The story begins in the late 90s, a time of unprecedented fame and cultural shifts, when a post-Titanic Leonardo DiCaprio was the undisputed king of the world, a heartthrob who captured the hearts of millions.
It was simple, visual, and irresistible. The concept was easy to grasp, and the visuals made it even more appealing. It was a code the public felt they'd cracked, a hidden truth revealed. People love to feel like they're in on something, and this provided that feeling in spades.
The 25 rule became a brand, a shorthand for a widely understood phenomenon. It was easily recognizable and instantly conveyed the core idea, a cultural touchstone inextricably linked to DiCaprio's legacy. It became part of his public image, something that followed him everywhere.
The media and internet worked in a powerful feedback loop, each amplifying the other's reach and impact. The internet created the joke, providing the initial spark and platform for its spread. The media amplified it, legitimizing the joke and bringing it to a wider audience. And the public fueled more coverage, sharing and remixing the joke, ensuring its continued relevance.
The memification turned a private pattern into a public spectacle, transforming a personal life into a source of collective amusement. A running gag the world felt entitled to join. It was a participatory experience, inviting everyone to contribute their own spin on the joke.
Every new breakup triggered a wave of memes, each one more creative and outlandish than the last. Women receiving "your time is up" notifications on their 25th birthday became a common trope. Or Leo bidding farewell to a cake with 25 inches on it, a symbolic gesture of moving on to the next younger partner.
At the 2020 Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais quipped, knowing full well the audience would understand the reference. By the end of the movie, Leo's date was too old for him. The audience was already in on it, roaring with laughter at the well-worn joke.
Headlines referenced the "Curse of 25, solidifying the meme's place in the cultural lexicon. Comedians and talk show hosts made it a running joke, incorporating it into their routines and monologues.
A now famous Reddit chart showed DiCaprio's age rising, a visual representation of the perceived pattern, while his girlfriend's ages stayed flat below 25, highlighting the stark contrast and reinforcing the rule.
Users compiled data, meticulously tracking DiCaprio's relationships and their corresponding ages. Created viral charts, visually demonstrating the alleged pattern in a clear and concise manner. And crafted memes that distilled the pattern into a single, scathing punchline, often with humorous and pointed commentary.
The 25 rule exploded from internet forums to mainstream culture, transcending its online origins to become a widely recognized phenomenon. With the rise of social media, which provided the perfect breeding ground for the meme to spread and evolve.
This statistical certainty is the bedrock of the legend.
Without the stats, it's just gossip. With them, it's a phenomenon.
The numbers provide proof, transforming the theory into a credible, data-backed observation.
The probability of this happening by chance? Incredibly low.
The ceiling appears absolute, a statistical cliff that gives the 25 rule its power.
Giselle Bundchen was 23, Bar Raffaeli 25, Blake Lively 24, Erin Heatherton 23, Tony Guerin 22, Kelly Rohrbach 25, Nina Agdal 25, Camila Morone 25.
Not a single serious girlfriend has publicly dated him past her 25th birthday.
The age gap widened as he aged. By the time he dated Camila Morone, it was 23 years.
Over the past 25 years, the average age of DiCaprio's girlfriends is about 23.
Strip away the memes and you're left with cold, hard data.
Every future relationship would be scrutinized through this lens.
After Morone, the 25 rule was no longer a theory. It was established fact in the court of public opinion.
It was the ultimate "I told you so" for internet sleuths.
The split was so predictable it felt less like heartbreak and more like the inevitable conclusion of a social experiment.
Morone herself had defended the age gap, but after the breakup, she became the 25 rule's most famous case study.
The internet's reaction was grim validation. The prophecy fulfilled.
She turned 25 and for a moment it seemed possible. But 2 months later they split.
As Morone's 25th birthday approached, the internet watched with scientific interest. Would she break the curse?
For nearly 5 years they were a fixture in paparazzi photos, vacationing on yachts and walking their dogs in LA.
If one relationship cemented the 25 rule, it was with Camila Morone.
The 25 rule faces its first real test.
Coretti is not just his girlfriend. She's a challenge to a decade of celebrity lore.
Is public pressure influencing his choices? Or has he simply fallen for someone older than his usual type?
The Polanyi rumors confirmed his preference for youth, but the Soretti relationship contradicts the infamous cutoff.
Brief rumors in early 2023 linked DiCaprio to 19-year-old Eden Polanyi, sparking backlash and highlighting the public's sensitivity to his dating habits.
The internet is divided. Some say it's a fluke, others see a sign of change.
Has the rule been broken? Was it ever real?
For the first time in decades, a girlfriend has dated DiCaprio past the age of 25.
Coretti was 25 when they were first linked, but she turned 26. And now, at 27, they're still reportedly together.
Just when the world thought it had DiCaprio figured out, a new variable appeared. Italian supermodel Vittoria Soretti.
It's a bizarre, defining chapter in the legacy of one of the world's biggest movie stars, a testament to our endless fascination with fame, power, and the relentless ticking of the clock.
Whether DiCaprio continues to date women over 25 or reverts to old habits, the legend is already written.
In the end, the 25 rule is both a hard truth and a modern myth, real but mythologized by the internet.
DiCaprio's dating life became a high-profile case study for these uncomfortable truths.
Our obsession with this topic says more about us than about DiCaprio. It reflects a culture grappling with ageism and sexism, and how society values women.
The rule was true, until it wasn't.
But the recent relationship with 27-year-old Soretti complicates the narrative.
The relationship with Camilla Morrone was its undeniable climax.
So, what's the verdict on the 25 rule? For 2 decades it was a real pattern, too consistent to be coincidence.